Has the AIP diet been suggested to you? Have you heard about the Autoimmune Protocol Diet and wondered what it's all about? If that's what you're looking for, you're in the right place because that's what we're talking about in this video today. The Autoimmune Protocol, and we're going to break it down. The Autoimmune Protocol, also Autoimmune Paleo or AIP Diet, AIP for short, it's like a special roadmap for your individual eating habits. So what the AIP diet does, it takes a list of foods that are inflammatory and eliminates them from your diet. And then it changes and focuses on consuming foods that are nutrient dense and focuses on fueling your body. Now, by doing this, it helps with sleep, it helps with stress management, and overall helps with your gut and immune system. The AIP diet or Autoimmune Protocol Diet has two different phases. There's a slow elimination phase. Then you go through a period where you have all of those things that you're supposed to eliminate completely eliminated from your diet, and then a slow reintroduction phase. So this is not a permanent diet by design. It is very temporary. You're eliminating for a certain length of time, and then you're starting to reintroduce foods to find out what ones you have the best reaction to and what ones you cannot tolerate. So the Autoimmune Protocol is used as a tool to learn how your body reacts to different foods and also environmental factors. The elimination phase. Now, this is the phase where you go through and you start to eliminate the different foods that are typically known as to be inflammatory. So there's quite a list. It involves eliminating gluten, grains, dairy, soy, legumes, sugars, eggs, corn, nuts, seeds, nightshade vegetables, caffeine, and alcohol. However, when you're doing this elimination, typically it's going to be suggested, most doctors suggest eliminating these things for 30 to 90 days, depending on everybody, depending on what the reason for you doing this elimination is. And the focus is you're limiting those foods that are usually cause inflammation, and then changing that mindset and changing your eating habits to eating nutrient-dense foods that are going to fuel your body better. Now, if this is a diet that was suggested for you, you're probably looking at that list or hearing that list and saying, well, that's a lot of foods that I can't eat. And that's the hard part, is to try to think about not the foods you can't eat, but the foods that you can eat. So there's still plenty of variety of foods that you can eat. You have a wide range of meats that you can eat. And this is where I started experimenting with different types of cuts of beef and pork and fish. And I was experimenting with things I hadn't tried before. And then another thing that was hard was giving up my coffee. Yes, I could switch to decaf, but that really, I don't quite understand the point of having decaf. So instead of having decaf, I really wanted something warm to drink. Some people will drink warm water. I chose to do like a bone broth or a meat broth, and that helped me with that warmth, and instead of the cup of coffee. Now, I really struggled when I did this elimination. I was already carnivore for over a month. So I had eliminated the plants. I had eliminated the legumes. I was eliminating sugars, but I had a few sugar things that included sugar substitutes in my electrolytes. And I needed to remove that. I needed to remove all dairy, which that was difficult, but the most difficult thing for me was eliminating eggs. I had eggs as a staple food that I was using every week, almost daily. And that was the biggest thing, that was the hardest thing for me to eliminate. But I did this, I did it for 3 months. And like I said, I experimented with the types of foods. I had lamb for the first time. I would eat fish, sardines. I would have chicken more often. I just had a wide variety of meats that I was having. Another thing I struggled with was finding a seasoning that I could have. When you're eliminating nightshades, that includes taco seasonings, chili seasonings. They all have some type of pepper in them. That was the hardest thing, finding something to season my meat with and season my meals with. And what I found, I have Redmond's smoked salts. They're that hickory flavor, Chef's Blend, and hickory, Chef's Blend, and I can't remember the other one. I purchased those, and so those smoked salts is what saved me. They didn't have the artificial sweeteners. They didn't have anything artificial in them, and they're clean. I already knew they were clean and organic, but then I needed to find something that didn't have the nightshades. And almost all the other seasonings I had some form of nightshade. So that is where I struggled the most, not with all the things that I had to eliminate, trying to find different foods, a different way of seasoning the meats or putting a sauce on the meats, where I didn't really have any sauces until I started the reintroduction phase. And that's what I'm going to be talking about in my next video, is more about that reintroduction phase. So, an overview. The Autoimmune Protocol, Autoimmune Paleo, Autoimmune AIP Diet, whatever you want to call it, it is a diet. Therefore, it is short term. Like I said, there's an elimination process. You eliminate everything for a period of time, and then you get to reintroduce foods slowly, one at a time. But it is amazing what you find out, how your body reacts to different foods. Like I said, that'll be coming up in my next video, is that reintroduction phase. I just wanted to share the basics of what the Autoimmune Protocol Diet was and make it clear it's not something long-term. And when I went through it, I combined it with carnivore because I was using carnivore as an elimination diet, and I just had a few extra things that I needed to take out to make it equivalent to Autoimmune Protocol. And my doctor was perfectly fine with me doing that because I knew from myself some of the vegetables that were allowed on the Autoimmune Protocol made me feel sick. Like, I've had different times where I have those vegetables and I get sick. So am I going to put myself through that? No. If you're eating something that you know makes you feel sick, you're not going to want to eat it, right? I get it. Well, and also remember, you're eliminating quite a few foods. Like I said, it's a long list. But open your mind to all the foods you can have. And that changes your perspective on things. All right, if you found this video useful, or have a friend that could use this information, please like this video, share it with them, get the word out. And we'll see you in the next video when we're talking about the reintroduction phase. I am so excited. I loved the reintroduction phase.